She didn't just leave you on red. She left you on a battlefield, disarmed and exposed. That silence you're staring at isn't an oversight. It's a statement. It's a carefully calibrated maneuver designed to communicate your exact position in her world. Irrelevant. You sit there, phone in hand, rereading the last message you sent. You thought it was clever, a perfect blend of confidence and intrigue. You checked the spelling, the punctuation, the timing. You engineered it like a weapon, and when you fired, she caught the bullet in her teeth and spit it back in your face with a wall of absolute, deafening silence. Don't lie to yourself. You've checked your phone at least 20 times in the last hour. Each time, a jolt of pathetic hope, followed by the cold, familiar sting of humiliation. The 2 check marks are a tombstone marking the death of your control. She hasn't just ignored your message. She has dismantled your entire psychological frame, piece by agonizing piece. She took the power you offered on a silver platter and is now using its weight to crush you. You feel the impulse, don't you? The frantic urge to send another message. A casual, "Hey, just checking in," or a passive-aggressive question mark. A pathetic plea disguised as a follow-up. Every fiber of your being screams for you to close the loop, to get a response, any response, to alleviate the tension of the unknown. This is precisely what she expects. This is the trap. The human mind is fundamentally flawed. It is engineered to crave completion. Psychologists call it the Zeigarnik effect, an obsessive mental preoccupation with unfinished tasks. Her silence is not an absence of communication. It is the most powerful communication of all. It is an open loop she has intentionally created in your mind, forcing you to dedicate your mental energy to her, to replay the scenario, to search for your mistake, to obsess over her reaction. You are a rat in her maze, and the cheese is the validation of her reply. What if you could rewire the maze itself? What if you could use that very same psychological flaw, not as a trap for you, but as a cage for her? Before we weaponize her own strategy against her, you must commit to this new theater of war. Subscribe to Psychological Dominion, activate all notifications, and press the like button to declare you are no longer a pawn in anyone's game. In the comments below, I want to know what city or country you are fighting from. And tell us about a time silence was used against you as a weapon. A moment where someone's lack of response was designed to make you feel powerless. We are going to transform that scar tissue into armor. The conventional response is to chase, to prove your value, to fill the void she created with more of your attention. This is the logic of the supplicant. It is a losing strategy. Availability does not create desire. It suffocates it. Predictability does not build intrigue. It breeds contempt. You have made yourself a constant, a reliable source of validation she can tap into or ignore at her leisure. Your attention has no value because it is always there, free for the taking. The fundamental error you are making is believing this is a battle of words. It is a battle of emotional leverage, and right now she holds all of it. Her power is derived directly from your neediness, from the visible anxiety her silence provokes in you. Every time you check your phone, you transfer more power to her. Every scenario you run in your head where you finally get her to reply is a surrender. The path to dominance is not found in breaking the silence. It is found in owning it. It is found in creating a silence of your own so complete, so profound, and so utterly detached from her actions that it creates a new void, one that she, not you, will feel an overwhelming compulsion to fill. We are not going to simply ignore her back. That is a petty, reactive tactic of a child. We are going to architect a response so precisely timed and emotionally calibrated that it will shatter her frame of control and install a new one. Yours. This is not about getting her to like you. This is about restructuring the dynamic so that her respect for you becomes an involuntary reflex. The torment you feel now, that gnawing uncertainty, is about to become the very tool you use to seize control of her thoughts. The question is no longer if she will reply to you, but when you will grant her the privilege of a reply from you, and how that calculated delay will systematically dismantle her sense of power and ignite an uncontrollable curiosity about the man who operates by a set of rules she cannot comprehend. Let's be brutally honest about how you got here. This didn't happen overnight. The humiliation you feel staring at that delivered, but unread, message is not the result of a single mistake. It is the final symptom of a disease you've allowed to fester for weeks, months, perhaps even years. You were not defeated on this battlefield. You surrendered long before the first shot was fired. Your authority was not stolen. You gave it away, piece by piece, in a series of small, seemingly insignificant concessions. This is the anatomy of your fall. It began with emotional concession. It started when you prioritized her emotional comfort over your own standards. Remember that time she was late and didn't call? You wanted to express your frustration, to establish that your time is valuable, but you didn't. You swallowed it. You smiled and said, "It's okay, I'm just glad you're here." In that moment, you taught her that your boundaries are negotiable. You taught her that her convenience outweighs your respect. She tested. You yielded. She won. This is the first crack in the foundation. You start valuing the harmony of the interaction more than the integrity of your own frame. You avoid any topic that might cause friction. You laugh at jokes that aren't funny. You agree with opinions you find foolish. You become a mirror, reflecting what you think she wants to see, and in the process, you become invisible. Your desire to be liked eclipses your need to be respected. And make no mistake, a woman can never truly desire a man she does not fundamentally respect. From there, you descend into the second stage, the loss of control. The frame of the interaction, the very reality you operate in, is no longer yours. She dictates the terms. She decides when you talk, how you talk, and for how long. Sends a vague text like "talk later," and you are left in a state of suspended animation, your plans for the evening held hostage by her whim. You have relinquished your position as the protagonist of your own life and accepted a supporting role in hers. You adapt to her schedule. You wait for her moods to shift. You become reactive, not proactive. You are no longer the one who invites her into your world. You are the one waiting by the door, hoping she might invite you into hers. This loss of control is subtle. It feels like you're being flexible, accommodating. But what you are actually doing is communicating that your life, your time, and your energy are secondary to hers. You are a resource to be used at her leisure, not a force to be reckoned with. She tested you, and you failed. You demonstrated that your world stops and waits for her. Why would she rush to respond to a man who has already shown he will wait indefinitely? This leads directly to the third and most pathetic stage, the search for validation. Your communication is no longer about connection or exchanging information. It becomes a desperate plea for approval. Every text you send is a carefully crafted performance designed to elicit a positive response. You send a witty observation, not because you found it amusing, but because you crave the ha-ha in return. You ask a question, not because you need the answer, but because it forces her to engage. Your phone becomes an altar at which you worship her attention. The two check marks turning blue are your sacrament. Her reply is your salvation. This is where the power dynamic inverts completely. The person who needs the interaction less holds all the power. By constantly seeking her validation, you are screaming your neediness. You are handing her a scorecard and begging her to give you a passing grade. Her silence is dominance, not disinterest. It is a calculated move to reinforce her superior position. She knows you are waiting. She knows you are rereading your message, questioning your worth. And in her silence, she finds power. She feels the weight of your attention, your anxiety, your hope, and it validates her own sense of importance. Now you are fully submerged in the fourth stage, emotional dependency. Your inner state is no longer regulated by you. Direct reflection of her behavior. A quick reply from her, and you feel a surge of elation, of relief. Delayed reply, and you are consumed by anxiety, doubt, and self-recrimination. She has become the sole arbiter of your emotional well-being. This is the most dangerous stage, because you have outsourced your own self-worth. You have made one person the center of your emotional universe, and now you orbit her like a powerless moon. You check her social media. You analyze her active now status. You are a detective searching for clues in a case where you are both the victim and the primary suspect. You have become a ghost in your own life, haunting the digital corridors of her existence, waiting for a sign that you matter. This dependency is a prison of your own making. No one is coming to save you. You built the walls with your own neediness, and only you can tear them down. And all of this culminates in the final self-immolating act, breaking the silence. Tension becomes unbearable. The open loop she created in your mind is screaming to be closed. So you do it. You send the follow-up message, the question mark, the, "Hey, everything okay?" The passive-aggressive meme. It doesn't matter what you send. The act of sending it is a declaration of your defeat. It is the white flag waved over a conquered territory. You have confirmed everything she already suspected, that you are weak, that you are needy, and that her silence is an effective weapon against you. When you apologized for nothing, just to get a response, you signed your surrender. You proved that your need for her attention is greater than your own dignity. You have validated her strategy and reinforced her power. You have taught her that if she wants to control you, all she has to do is nothing at all. This pattern isn't confined to romantic pursuits. Think about your career, the boss who sends a vague email request on a Friday afternoon, causing you to spend your weekend worrying. You lost authority the first time you answered his call at 9 p.m. on a Saturday, teaching him you have no boundaries. Think about your friendships. The friend who always cancels at the last minute. You lost respect the first time you said, "No problem," instead of, "That's not going to work for me again." The fall is never visible. It happens in the silence, in the hesitation, in the yes you uttered out of fear of conflict, in the apology you gave when you were the one who was wronged. It is a slow erosion, a death by 1,000 concessions. You might be telling yourself that this is just being a nice guy. You might believe that being accommodating and patient is a virtue. This is a lie you tell yourself to justify your weakness. Niceness without strength is not kindness, it is cowardice. Patience without standards is not a virtue. It is an invitation to be exploited. A woman is not attracted to a doormat. She is attracted to a man with a powerful frame, a man whose presence signifies stability, a man whose world is so compelling and self-contained that she feels a magnetic pull to become a part of it. She does not want a puppy who follows her around, waiting for a pat on the head. She wants a wolf who commands his own territory. This cold diagnosis resonates with the core of your being. If you see your own reflection in this pathetic pattern of surrender, then now is the moment you decide to shatter the mirror. It is time to stop being a casualty and start being a strategist. Declare your commitment to this war. Subscribe to Psychological Dominion, press the like button to signal your resolve, and activate all notifications so you do not miss a single command. And in the comments, I want you to answer this and be honest with yourself. What is the one validation-seeking behavior you have engaged in this past week that you now recognize as a complete surrender of your power? We will use this collective intelligence to sharpen our weapons for the counterattack. The diagnosis is complete. Your weakness has been exposed. Now, the reconstruction begins. There is no going back for the weak. There is only the construction of the new. The man you were yesterday, the one who stared at his phone waiting for a notification to validate his existence, is dead. You will not mourn him. You will not hold a funeral. You will simply erase his code and install a new operating system. This is not a process of emotional healing. It is a tactical demolition and reconstruction. Forget your feelings. They are liabilities. They are the vulnerabilities in your armor that she exploited. From this moment forward, you operate on logic, strategy, and an unwavering commitment to the restoration of your own power. Reconstruction is governed by 3 primary commands. Memorize them, internalize them, live by them. First, cut the excess. Second, install silence. Third, control the reaction. These are not suggestions. They are battlefield orders for the war you are now waging for your own soul. The first command, to cut the excess, is the most brutal but the most necessary. You must perform a surgical removal of all emotional and psychological dependency. This begins with installing absolute, deafening scarcity. You will not merely ignore her. Ignoring her is a passive, reactive gesture. It implies you are still thinking about her, waiting for her to notice your absence. We are not doing that. You are going to vanish. You will become a ghost in the machine she thought she controlled. This means a complete and total blackout. No posts on social media designed to get her attention. No stories of you having a great time that are secretly aimed at her. No checking her profiles. You will sever every digital tendril that connects your consciousness to hers. Train you to be a reliable source of validation, a constant presence she can tap into at will. We are shutting off the supply line, not gradually, instantly. The psychological shock of this sudden void is your first weapon. Human beings are wired for pattern recognition. Your pattern was predictability, availability, and neediness. By shattering this pattern without warning, you create a cognitive dissonance in her mind. Her brain, accustomed to your input, will register an error, an anomaly. The space you once occupied with your constant attention is now a black hole, and the nature of a black hole is to pull things toward it. You are not giving her the silent treatment. You are removing yourself as a variable in her equation so completely that the equation itself no longer makes sense. She must be made to feel your absence not as a choice you made in relation to her, but as a consequence of your ascent into a world where she no longer registers. Second command is to install silence. This is where we take her weapon, melt it down, and forge it into something far more lethal. Her silence was a test. It was a power play designed to make you anxious, to force you to reveal your emotional investment. Your silence will be a declaration. It is a statement that you are the prize, that your attention is earned, not given, and that her games are beneath your notice. This is not a passive waiting game. It is an active occupation of a higher frame. While you are silent, you are not idle. You are engaged in the fourth and most critical mechanism of reconstruction, a total and relentless focus on building your own hierarchy. This is where your true power is forged. You will channel every ounce of the anxious energy you once spent on her into the 4 pillars of masculine power. First, the physical. You will go to war with your own body. You will treat the gym as your temple and your forge. Every drop of sweat, every rep pushed past failure, is a brick in the foundation of your new self. You will build a physical presence that communicates discipline, strength, and raw power before you ever utter a word. Second, the financial. You will become obsessed with your mission, your purpose, your ability to generate resources. Money is not just currency, it is freedom, it is options, it is power. You will attack your career or your business with the ferocity of a starving wolf. Your focus on your purpose must become so absolute that it eclipses all petty emotional dramas. Third, the social. You will cultivate a network of high-value men. You will put yourself in environments where power is the currency. You will learn, you will observe, you will build alliances. You will construct a social reality so compelling and valuable that her absence from it is her loss, not yours. Fourth, the symbolic. You will master a skill. You will read. You will become an expert in a field that commands respect. You will build a mind so sharp that it can cut through emotional manipulation and see the world for the strategic chessboard it truly is. This relentless self-improvement is not for her. It is for you. It is the source of the unshakable inner validation that makes you immune to her games. A man who wants to be loved will be discarded. A man who imposes his presence will be feared. And fear, in this context, is simply another word for respect. This leads to the third command: control the reaction. The time will come when your silence and your visible assent will create enough of a void in her mind that she reaches out. It is inevitable. Her ego will not be able to tolerate the open loop you have created. She will send a message. A casual, "Hey," a question about something insignificant, a reaction to an old photo. This is the moment of maximum danger and maximum opportunity. This is the test. The old you would have flooded with relief, answering instantly, eagerly, grateful for the crumbs of her attention. The new you will see this for what it is, a probe. Test to see if the weak, needy man is still in there. Your reaction must be controlled with surgical precision. This is where you implement minimal and unpredictable interaction. You will not reply for hours, perhaps even a day. Your delay is not a game, it is a reflection of your new reality. A man focused on his empire does not jump when his phone buzzes. When you do reply, your message will be short, direct, and emotionally neutral. It will not ask questions. It will not seek to prolong the conversation. It will be a simple, declarative statement that closes the loop on her terms and leaves a new one open on yours. For example, if she says, "Hey, how have you been?" Your reply, after a day, might be, "All good. Busy on a new project. Nothing more." No, how about you? You are not hostile. You are simply detached. You are a mountain. Her message is a breeze. The mountain does not move for the breeze. This creates a new kind of tension. You have given her a sliver of attention, just enough to keep her engaged, but not enough to satisfy her need for validation. This is the principle of variable reinforcement, the same principle that makes slot machines addictive. By making your attention an unpredictable reward, you amplify its value exponentially. You are conditioning her to crave it. This entire process is a strategic plan, not a hopeful wish. You are not trying to get her back. That is the language of the supplicant. You are replacing the old dynamic with a new one where you are the undisputed authority. Do not reconquer. Replace with a sharper silence. As the master strategist Sun Tzu might have implied, the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. You are not fighting her for her attention. You are creating a reality so powerful that her only options are to attempt to enter it on your terms or be left behind in the dust of your ambition. You are changing the battlefield itself, rewriting the rules of engagement so that her old tactics are rendered obsolete. Her power was derived from your emotional neediness. By eliminating that neediness, you cut off her power at its source. She is a general with an army that has deserted her. You are ready to stop being a casualty of emotional warfare and start becoming a grand master of psychological strategy. Then the time for hesitation is over. Commit to this path. Subscribe to Psychological Dominion. Smash the like button to declare your allegiance to strength, and activate all notifications because you cannot afford to miss a single command in this reconstruction. Now, I want you to make a public declaration of your new mission in the comments below. Answer this. When you install this strategic silence, what is the single most important mission you will dedicate your newfound energy to? Forging your body, building your bank account, or expanding your empire? Let the world, and yourself, know what a man of focus truly is. This is not about her anymore. This is about you. This is about becoming the man who no longer waits for the phone to ring because he is the one the world is an absence that weighs heavily. Not a presence that begs. The phone buzzes. It is a notification, but it is not the one you have been waiting for. It is from your bank, your business partner, a brother in arms from the gym. It is a signal from the empire you have been building in the deafening silence. You glance at it, process the information, and return your focus to the task at hand. Mission. Your world no longer stops for a digital chime. Your state is no longer a slave to a pixelated screen. Later, perhaps hours later, you pick up your phone to execute a task. And there it is. Her name. A message sent 3 hours ago. A simple, pathetic probe. Hey. The man you used to be would have felt a jolt, a surge of adrenaline mixed with triumphant relief. His heart would have hammered against his ribs, his mind racing to craft the perfect reply. He would have seen this as the finish line. You see it for what it is, the first tremor from a collapsing empire. You feel nothing. Not anger, not joy, not vindication. You feel a profound and chilling indifference. You see the move on the chessboard, you analyze its weakness, and you feel only the cold certainty of the checkmate that is to come. You do not reply. The message sits there, a testament to her broken frame, a monument to your newfound control. The 2 check marks that once served as the tombstone for your dignity now serve as the bars of her new psychological prison. She is now the one staring at the screen. She is now the one rereading her single, pathetic word, wondering if it was clever enough, casual enough. She is the one experiencing the Zeigarnik effect, the gnawing mental obsession with the loop you now control. 1 day passes, then 2. Your life continues, not in spite of her silence, but in glorious, productive indifference to her existence. Conquer a workout. You close a deal. You read a chapter of a book that forges your mind into a sharper weapon, You are so immersed in the construction of your own reality that you forget her message even exists. On the third day, you are waiting for a file to upload. You have a moment of downtime. You remember. You open the chat. You look at her, hey, and you craft your response with the detached precision of a bomb disposal expert. You do not ask a question. You do not offer an emotional opening. Give her nothing. Your reply, hope you are well. It is a statement, a period, a closed door sealed with the ice of your indifference. You have not ignored her. That would be a reaction. You have acknowledged her, processed her, and dismissed her in a single, surgically precise maneuver. You have given her the barest minimum of social courtesy, while simultaneously communicating that she holds zero emotional real estate in your mind. The effect of this is catastrophic to her sense of control. Angry response would have fed her ego. A desperate, enthusiastic reply would have validated her power. But this cool, polite dismissal is a psychological checkmate. It communicates one devastating truth. You no longer care. And in that, you have seized the ultimate power. The power dynamic has not just shifted. It has been annihilated and rebuilt from the ashes with you as its sole architect. Now the chase begins. Her chase. Another message comes, faster this time. I am, thanks. Been a while. I saw you were at place. She is searching for an opening, offering a thread for you to pull. You let it hang in the air for another day before you cut it. Busy times. Another closed loop. You are the mountain. She is the wind. She can blow and she can howl, but you will not be moved. You have transformed her weapon of silence into your shield of absence. Her power was in making you wait. Your power is in making her irrelevant. This was never about getting her back. If you still think that, you have learned nothing. Chasing a woman who disrespected you is the ultimate act of self-betrayal. It is to crawl back to your own executioner and ask for a kinder blade. The objective was never to reconquer her. The objective was to conquer yourself. She was merely the symptom of your disease. A disease of low standards, of outsourced validation, of a life without a core mission. Leaving you on red was the greatest gift she could have ever given you. It was the shock to the system, the bucket of ice water to the face that forced you to see the pathetic creature you had become. You did not just flip the chessboard of your little game with her. You have left the game entirely. You are no longer playing for the validation of a single person, because you are now playing for kingdoms, for empires, for a legacy written in steel and stone, not in the fleeting blue checkmarks of a messaging app. Her world is small. It is a world of social media validation, of emotional games, of using the attention of weak men to feel powerful. Your world is now vast. It is a world of discipline, of purpose, of building a reality so compelling that the right woman will fight to be a part of it, and the wrong ones will be burned away by its sheer intensity. Respect is not requested. It is commanded. It is not given. It is taken. It is the silent, gravitational pull of a man who has absolute certainty in his own value and his own path. This certainty is not built with words, affirmations, or clever text messages. It is forged in the lonely hours in the gym, in the relentless pursuit of your purpose, in the quiet discipline of saying no to your own weaknesses. It is the byproduct of a man who has built a life he is unwilling to compromise for anyone. You have become an absence that carries more weight than your presence ever did. Your silence is no longer a void of despair. It is a declaration of your sovereignty. It is a statement that your attention is a privilege, a reward to be earned, not a commodity to be handed out to anyone who sends a "hey." You are no longer a participant in her reality. You are the creator of your own. If you have followed this path, if you have truly done the work, you are no longer the man who began this journey. That man is a ghost, a forgotten footnote in the story of your ascent. You have weaponized the very tools that were used against you, and built a fortress of self-reliance that is impenetrable to emotional manipulation. This is the final dominion, not over her, but over the weakness within yourself that gave her power in the first place. This is your new code, your new reality. You are ready to permanently delete the old programming and install this new operating system of absolute power. Then your final command is this: subscribe to Psychological Dominion. Activate every notification, because every transmission is a tool for your arsenal. Press the like button as a public declaration that your days of supplication are over. And in the comments below, answer this one question. It is the most important question you will answer today. Now that you understand the strategy, what is the single greatest weakness you will starve to death with your new strategic silence? Your journey does not end here. It begins now. She didn't leave you on red. She left you on the throne you were meant to build.